Before we begin, please note that this video is for informational purposes only. For any medical advice, treatment, or diagnosis, make sure to consult with a professional. Picture yourself sitting relaxing in your favorite armchair, completely at ease reading a book or watching television, when you suddenly notice a strange dull ache creeping into your jaw. Or maybe you suddenly experience an unusually heavy wave of exhaustion, making it feel like you've just walked a mile when you really only crossed the living room. It is so easy to dismiss these moments, thinking to yourself that you are just getting older or that you simply slept wrong last night. But what if that quiet, nagging discomfort is actually your heart crying out for help? Most of us have been conditioned to believe that a heart attack always looks exactly like it does on the silver screen. A sudden dramatic clutch of the chest followed by an immediate collapse. In reality, many heart attacks begin incredibly quietly. Today, we are going to look closely at 7 critical warning signs that the majority of people completely ignore. Staying aware of these subtle signals could quite literally save your life or the life of someone you love dearly. The first major warning sign to look out for is unexplained fatigue and sudden exhaustion. We all experience tiredness as the years roll on, but there is a massive difference between being normally active tired and experiencing a sudden, overwhelming wave of depletion. If you find that basic daily tasks like making the bed, walking out to fetch the mail, or just standing at the kitchen sink suddenly feel as grueling as climbing a mountain, it is time to pay serious attention. To understand the simple medical explanation behind this, think of your heart as a muscle acting as your body's central pump. When the arteries supplying your heart become narrow or blocked, that muscle has to work twice as hard to push blood throughout your system. Because your body isn't receiving the oxygen-rich blood it desperately needs, you are left feeling completely drained of energy, even if you haven't done anything active at all. Another vital signal is experiencing shortness of breath without any real exertion. Imagine you are walking up a short, familiar flight of stairs or just casually strolling through the grocery store, and suddenly you find yourself gasping for air as if you just finished an intense sprint. If you feel winded during activities that usually feel completely effortless, or if this breathlessness happens while you are sitting completely still, it serves as a major red flag. Looking at the simple medical explanation, your heart and lungs operate closely as a team. The heart pumps blood to your lungs to gather oxygen, and then distributes that fresh oxygen out to the rest of your body. When your heart is struggling or failing to pump efficiently, blood can actually back up into the vessels that travel directly between your heart and lungs. This fluid buildup makes it incredibly difficult for your lungs to expand and do their job properly, leaving you feeling completely winded out of nowhere. You should also be highly aware of any unexpected discomfort in the jaw, neck, or back. This is actually one of the most frequently missed signs of all, particularly among women. You might feel a dull, nagging ache, a tight sensation, or a deep muscle soreness anywhere in your upper back, your neck, or along your lower jawline. Because of the location, many people naturally assume they just pulled a muscle or are overdue for a visit to the dentist. The simple medical explanation for this comes down to shared internal wiring. The nerves that carry pain signals directly from your heart travel up into your spinal cord right alongside the nerves that connect to your jaw, your neck, and your upper back. When your heart is in distress, your brain can easily get its wires crossed and mistake the heart pain as coming from your upper body instead of your chest. In the medical world, doctors refer to this phenomenon as referred pain. Next on the list is sudden lightheadedness, dizziness, or breaking into cold sweats. Feeling a little dizzy if you stand up too quickly can happen to anyone from time to time. However, if you suddenly feel faint, dizzy, or lightheaded completely out of the blue, especially if that feeling is accompanied by a cold, clammy sweat, it is an urgent sign to take notice. If you happen to look in the mirror and see that you have gone unusually pale and your skin feels distinctly cold to the touch, please do not just shrug it off. From a simple medical standpoint, if a blocked artery prevents your heart from pumping blood properly, your blood pressure can take a sudden, drastic drop. When your blood pressure plunges like that, less blood is able to reach your brain, which directly causes that floating, dizzy sensation. At the exact same time, your body recognizes the severe stress it is under and kicks your nervous system into absolute overdrive, causing you to suddenly break out in a cold sweat. Another frequently ignored indicator is persistent indigestion, nausea, or general stomach discomfort. You might experience a burning sensation in your upper stomach, a heavy feeling of fullness, or a wave of nausea that feels exactly like bad acid reflux or perhaps a mild touch of food poisoning. It is incredibly common for people to simply take an antacid tablet and head to bed, hoping the discomfort passes by morning. Looking at the simple medical explanation, the bottom portion of your heart sits directly above your diaphragm, resting right next to your stomach. When the lower wall of the heart is deprived of crucial blood and oxygen, it begins sending out urgent distress signals. Because these two organs are situated so close together, your digestive system feels that immediate irritation, which easily mimics the exact symptoms of heartburn or a standard upset stomach. It is also crucial to recognize a feeling of pressure or a sensation of fullness rather than a sharp pain. Again, movies have taught us to watch out for a sharp, stabbing sensation. In reality, many individuals who survive a heart attack share that they never felt actual pain at all. Instead, they describe a deeply uncomfortable pressure, a tight squeezing sensation, or a heavy fullness right in the center of their chest. They often describe it as feeling like an elephant is sitting right on their chest, or like their seatbelt has been pulled far too tight across them. The simple medical explanation here is that when a heart artery becomes blocked, the surrounding muscle cells are starved of oxygen. This specific type of distress doesn't always trigger a sharp nerve response. Instead, it creates a deep, dull ache brought on by the muscle straining hard to survive. This sensation often builds up quite slowly over several minutes, and it might even fade away and then come right back. The seventh warning sign is noticing swelling in your legs, ankles, or feet. If you find that your shoes are suddenly fitting much tighter than usual, or if your ankles and calves look remarkably puffy and swollen by the end of the day, it is a clear sign that your circulatory system isn't flowing quite the way it should. To break it down with a simple medical explanation, when your heart muscle isn't pumping strongly enough, blood stops moving forward through your body efficiently. As a result, it starts to back up inside your veins. Because of the natural pull of gravity, that extra trapped fluid gets pushed down into the lowest parts of your body, your feet, your ankles, and your lower legs, causing them to visibly swell up. Now that we know exactly what warning signs to look out for, let's focus on the good news. Your heart is an incredibly resilient organ, and there are wonderful, simple steps you can take every single day to protect it and keep it pumping strong. First, make it a point to keep your body moving. You absolutely do not need to lift heavy weights or train for marathons to make a difference. A simple, brisk 30-minute walk right down your street or through a local park 5 days a week works wonders for your health. Regular walking helps strengthen the heart muscle itself, naturally lowers your blood pressure, and keeps your blood vessels clear and flexible. Next, focus on enjoying heart-healthy foods. Try your best to color your plate with whole, natural foods. Put your main focus on fresh vegetables, vibrant fruits, whole grains, and healthy fats like olive oil and nuts. At the same time, try to cut back just a little bit on heavily processed foods and excess salt, both of which can cause your body to hold on to unnecessary fluid and drive up your blood pressure. Additionally, make sure you prioritize truly restful sleep. Sleep is the essential time when your body actively repairs itself from the day. When you don't get enough rest on a regular basis, your body produces higher levels of stress hormones, which can directly drive up both your heart rate and your blood pressure. Make it a goal to get 7 to 8 hours of quality, uninterrupted sleep every single night. Finally, always listen closely to your instincts. Perhaps the most important prevention tip of all is to learn to trust your own intuition. You know your own body better than anyone else possibly could. If something feels completely off, or if you just experience an underlying sense of dread regarding your health, please do not stay silent. It is always much better to get checked out by a professional and ensure you are safe. Taking consistent care of your heart isn't about living your life in fear. It is truly about giving yourself the beautiful gift of more vibrant, healthy years ahead with the people you love most. Make a promise to pay attention to the quiet whispers of your body before they have a chance to turn into shouts. If you found this information helpful today, please take a moment to share it with a friend or a family member. You truly never know whose life you might touch just by passing this knowledge along. Thank you so much for spending this valuable time with me today. Always consult your doctor for personalized advice. Take wonderful care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.